This is the Music Storm podcast. I haven't done this in a while. Jeez. Okay. Welcome. This is the first podcast back. Hey, welcome, Caitlin.
Oh, what an honor.
I know,
What an
right?
honor.
What an honor.
Honored to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, thanks for coming out. This is where we discuss music from so many angles, from guitar players, artists, photographers, and listeners, but with the main interest with the music industry as a whole. And today we have Caitlin joining me. So, how are you today, Caitlin?
Living the dream.
Living the dream?
Yeah, always
What
How
what
about you,
is
Mikey?
I don't know. Like the dream can be better, can be worse. You don't know. Who knows? It's the life of some weird podcast that we have here. I don't know. Or music industry podcast. I don't know, but like to call it. But yeah. So, some listeners might not know you probably, but they might. Who knows? Who knows? But tell people, what kind of bands are you probably in, Caitlin? As I know from you, but probably don't know, and where you're from.
All right, well, I am from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Ayo.
My main band is called Breathe In. We are like a very emo post-hardcore band.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, all the happiest songs. That's what we write. So if you need a little of that, we got you.
Oh.
We got Lowlife.
Mm.
We're like a very strong all-female band. Very much kind of alt rock. We started in like a kind of metalcore
I,
punk
I still think
theme.
that you guys are still kind of metalcore-ish, right? No? Okay,
That might
never
be a
mind.
hot take. We might do
Okay.
a hot takes podcast.
Ooh,
I don't know.
okay.
We have Low Life has fun.
Ha-
That's what you got to know.
Okay.
And then yeah, I mean I've been playing with Komono, but I've
Mm-hmm.
been playing with them.
Playing with them, but just, just okay. That's just it. Just playing with. Okay. Okay. Well, okay. How do you do it? How do you do with all these bands? Like, like, how do you get into the mix of like three bands, or technically now two? I don't know, three, two.
2.5?
2.5, I guess.
2.5.
2.5. Okay. Sure. Maybe 4.5 at this point. I don't know, but
Who knows? I can't keep track.
exactly.
Um, the main thing
Well,
is
how?
just I revolve my life around music.
That's it. That's that's the gist of it. Just you revolve it around music. Like, do you like
I
get tired? Like,
absolutely love playing guitar.
mm-hmm.
I feel empty when I don't have a guitar in my hands. not that,
It's
not like,
getting
not like
deep
that, not
now.
like that.
Let's go.
No, no,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
no. My guitar completes me.
The
My
guitar
guitar completes me.
completes you. Oh, great. So this guitar is. I don't know where I'm going with that, but let's go to the very beginning. Like your music career, Caitlin. What got you into music, I guess, right? So guitar playing and everything. So you're a guitar player, right? So what got you into that? Like your influences? Did high school change that? I don't know. So
Absolutely. I
yeah.
actually did not start playing guitar until pretty late in my life. So I
Hmm.
remember what's funny is that I can very clearly trace back exactly when I decided that I wanted to play guitar. So
What?
yeah, I was in the seventh grade
Hmm.
and I come home from school and my sister, my dear older sister Allison,
Let's
is
go.
like, you need to watch this movie. You are going to love it. And they are canceled now, but it was all time low straight to DVD.
Oh, well, I don't condone all time low,
uh,
but
uh,
they've been on some kind of instance right now. Like people are like, oh, they're not canceled, but they are canceled. Like I don't get what's going on with all time low right now. They're
well,
strange.
back then,
Yeah, back then,
there was nothing.
exactly.
And I was like, they look like they are having the time of their lives.
Hmm.
And I'd always appreciated music a lot growing up and be intrigued by guitar. But that was the moment where I was like, that's exactly what I want to do. But I did not get my first guitar until I was 15.
Oh, so big jump. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, once I watched that, I realized that I wanted to start playing music, write my own music,
Mm-hmm.
play shows. So I started teaching myself piano because we had a little electric keyboard in our basement. So I learned to read music. I taught myself piano. And then when the time came, I had a little bit of like music knowledge to base it off of. So finally got my first guitar in my hands and brought me to where I am today eventually.
Dang. Is your like did your family support you in like the music journey? Like got you the guitar and everything, or were they like, no, you're doing this all on your own. You can't like I don't know. So that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, no, my family are some of my biggest supporters. Absolutely. None of them play music, but they all love coming to shows.
Good.
They really support everything that I do. So it is great.
Nice.
I'm very lucky to have them all.
That's good. What was the first reaction from them when you did your first show? What did they do? Like what was the show, basically?
The very first show that I played, I was 17, maybe 16 or 17. And yeah, it was a quick turnaround when I got that first guitar.
Jeez.
And it was at the Park Theater, actually.
Let's go. The big
it was
stage.
A pretty packed show, too.
Dang.
And my whole family was there. I had, like, cousins there, too. And I think that was actually probably my only show that I played that I had my entire family at, just the way things turned out. But they were extremely proud, and I had the time of my life. It was a very wholesome moment.
Aw, we love the wholesome moments in this. Nice. So, I guess probably music is not a full-time gig, right, Caitlin? Or unless it is.
No.
What do you do?
Unfortunately, it does not pay the bills.
Yeah.
I pay its bills. Oh. And it's not cheap.
Yeah. Right? Going in 3 bands and everything, but I guess besides with all that juggling-ish of 3 bands or 2.5, like you said, what do you do for work?
I am a software developer. Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, gonna turn it around on everyone. Yeah, so I sit at my computer all day and I write code. I'm a Go girl. I write in a language called Go.
That's an actual thing?
Yeah, that is a thing. You can Google it.
I'll Google this after this podcast. Let's go.
You absolutely can. If anyone wants a little tutorial,
go to her. She
can do some gopher sizes.
She will be your Go person or Go.
That's what they're called.
Go person?
They have, yeah. If you want to learn the language Go, you can go to their website and you can. This is going to turn into me plugging Go. You can download some gopher sizes for free, and learn Go along with me.
Dope. Are you the person probably teaching everyone Go?
Oh no. Oh no. Just like guitar, you never stop learning.
Okay, that's good.
Long way to go. I got a long way to go.
Jeez. So you've been in all these bands and everything. So what do you suggest to someone that's like getting into music right now then? Because you've been in like how many years in this? Like that's been like, is it 7, 8 years of music?
7.
7? Yeah.
7.
Jeez, I ballparked that. So
that was a good guess.
Right?
I'd say if you practice, if you're good at what you do and you practice, not even if you're good at what you do, but if you're willing to put the work in and if you're fun to be around and good to work with, you'll have a great time.
Just practice.
That's all there is to it. You just got to be willing to learn and be fun to work with. Not even fun. You just have to be an okay human being to work with.
Listen, you say there's stuff that's fun to work with. Who are people that aren't fun to work with, Caitlin?
Oh, you know me. I'm always having fun, Mikey.
I don't know. Maybe. I could be wrong. I don't know what's happening with the music life, you know? It could be like a great... That's the thing with artists, everything that I've talked to. They're like, oh yeah, this could be great. And then in reality, they hate it. So I don't know.
I love it.
That's okay. Straight answer. I like it. So other than like working and everything, what do you do like working and music? What is your pastime, Caitlin?
What is my pastime?
Yeah, pastime. Like, do you do anything like crazy?
Outside of coding and guitar. Well, here's the thing. The thing with me, like I said, my life revolves around music.
Yeah.
It's at the point where like if I am picking up a new hobby, I feel bad about it because I'm like, I could be becoming a better musician right now. And yet I'm not. But I'm trying to restore more balance into my life. I like running. That's
But
yeah.
it's snow. There's snow.
We can do a whole podcast on running in the winter. I do not recommend it, especially in Winnipeg, but I do it sometimes.
I feel bad.
One of my newest hobbies in an attempt to restore a little bit of balance in my life is sewing. So get ready for some custom merch.
Oh, you heard it here first, folks. Brand new merch that's getting sold by. Wait, is that like band labor at that point? Band labor? Merch labor?
I don't know what to say, Mikey. I don't know what to say.
That's. I think that's a new thing that we just created, and also I just found out that you might be doing merch labor or band labor or something like that now.
I picture it as more of like a band clothing line.
Okay, I can see that. Like, okay. So would it be for Lowlife or Breathe In
Or Komono.
or Coco?
Who knows?
Okay, or maybe
Why
like
stop there?
why stop there? You could possibly do the whole entire Winnipeg scene market for merch. You can make this a business here, Caitlin. I invest into it. I would.
What my life is missing is on top of working full time and the 3 bands is running a business. So I think I should definitely
Onto something.
I'll get on that. On that. Give me a week.
So Lowlife is a woman fronted band and everything. So how does it like? Do you feel like that you've had some impact being in the band at some point?
Ooh.
Yeah. Because yeah.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, Lowlife, we want to make things better. I feel like we want to make things better in an accessible and catchy way is one of the new things that we've kind of been talking about. Not new, but those are the words that we put to it that we feel like we align with.
Yeah.
And yeah, we want to actually keep shows a safe space and make shows a safe space, not just say they are. Definitely. Which is a lot easier said than done.
Well, I don't know. Well, I know. I've been to shows. I'm the photographer in most shows, so it's like, yeah, it's pretty safe space unless you go to some weird secular venue. I don't know. We're not gonna talk smack talk on some venues, but anywho, on that note,
yeah, we just want to keep shows a safe space, keep things open. We want everyone to come exactly as who they are and feel confident to be able to do that and feel accepted and loved exactly how they are. Yeah. So yeah, the issues that Lowlife likes to focus on are women's issues and queer issues. That's just where we find that we align, and shows in our music, shows in our shows, and we just have a good time doing it.
Oh yeah, I like it. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. Cool. What are some artists that you hope to work with in the future?
Ooh, if we were talking locally, I would love to work with Higher Lows. Just the musicianship, the guitar tones, obviously the guitar tones that they have, unmatched. I think they're just such a sick local band. That would be amazing.
Shout out them.
Shout out Higher Lows, yeah.
Yeah, shout out them. And more. And
it would be really awesome to be able to open up for some of the touring bands that come along here. So that would be the dream.
That'd be the dream. What are, like, is there any, I know there's probably some that are just touring right now, but they have probably openers, but who is, like, your dream band that it does come to, like, said Winnipeg, and then you want to open for them?
Capstan.
The return.
Yes, Capstan is my favorite band. Have been for a very long time. Another band that is just crazy musicianship, and they do it in such an accessible way that I really like, because you don't even notice it. I mean, it's flashy at times, but half the time you don't even notice it, and they'll have like crazy 3-part harmonies where none of them are singing the same melody, and it's lovely. It is lovely.
It's Capstan.
It's Capstan. It's lovely Capstan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love Capstan when they came here when they came here back, what was it? It was like 29? No, it was, I forget which year. It was 2019, 2020-ish. It's a couple years ago. They were supposed to
Yeah,
play when Set It Off were supposed to come here, but then
their bus
their
froze.
bus froze. Woohoo. Not woohoo. Yeah.
But then, yeah, that was a lovely show. I saw
That's,
people like talking about that the other day, like on Twitter and stuff,
oh,
talking
really?
about how, yeah, because even though Set It Off couldn't make it, like a Grizzly Fate jumped on the bill.
Yeah.
Did they jump on the bill, or were
Yeah,
they already on it?
no, they jumped on the bill.
They
Yeah.
jumped on the bill, and the show still happened, and a
Yeah.
bunch of people came out to support, even though it was cold enough to stop a bus from running.
Right. No, like that Winnipeg community really helped shape like the scene in general, like that show, like the Winnipeg scene, that hey, we could still put on a show that still happened that day, and it was great. So it took Set It Off like 4 years to come back though, but either way, it's fine, it's fine. But yeah. Other than that, is there anyone else, or is it just those two right now, you think?
Those two right now, I'm gonna
Okay.
stick with them.
Okay. We'll say that. So going back to Breathe In, you dropped a song with them recently. Well, you guys dropped the initial announcement song and everything and that. How's their overall reception of it doing?
It seems like it's being very well received.
That's good.
Which, yes, I'm very happy about. I mean, our main thing as we were writing this and recording this was we were writing a song that the three of us love. And we were like, we would all listen to this.
Yeah.
We all do listen to it.
Would.
And we did throughout the whole process. And the fact that other people are aligning with that too is really special to see.
Nice. Heck yeah. As for probably listeners at home watching this or listening to this, what would you say is Breathe In's like genre, you would think, for people trying to get into them?
I would say post-hardcore emo. We could kind of move along those lines. Oh, it's a very emo band.
Yeah. Well, you got like I don't know if you have references, but of course probably influences from what would be the main influences you would think for Breathe In?
Ooh, we definitely do. We kind of take like a bit of the like slam poetry vibe that you see in older movements. That's definitely sprinkled throughout a lot of our songs. Instrumentally, I take a lot of influences from kind of all over the place. It definitely shows up in whatever mood that I'm in, whatever like phase that I'm going in. If I'm like going all into a new band, then that'll start showing up in my writing.
Okay.
But as always, it's going to be a lot of Capstan. There was a lot of counterparts recording this kind of stuff. And then our drummer gets influences from literally everywhere.
Like everywhere?
Everywhere. Yeah, he has a very diverse music background. So you'll get some fun stuff from him for sure.
Let's go. I can't wait to see the Katy Perry into Breathe In. Let's go. Let's go.
I know you're kidding, but
yeah, I know.
It's not
kidding.
a joke.
No. I just hear some kind of like Katy Perry reference into the drum piece. I'm like, how?
Just for you.
Just for me. Just for me. No, that'll be amazing. What of like, can you speak on any like new music from Breathe In, or even from Lowlife, if there's any new music in the process that you guys are coming out? I think that you guys have a new single, but what about like, is there an EP album in the works or anything like that?
Absolutely. Lowlife has plans to be headed back to the studio.
Ooh.
So you can expect some summertime tracks from us, whether that takes the form as more singles or as an EP.
Okay.
It'll be a good time. And then, I mean, for Breathe In, we just announced our next single, which is called Bloom.
Yeah.
So that'll be a fun one. You might see a sneak peek of that sometime next week, but we'll see. And then, yeah, by the time this airs, we'll probably have our next single announced as well.
I'll probably air this on this Friday.
Well, there will be another single coming as well.
Let's go. Wait, so that means with that single, is there an announcement of an album or an EP?
We do have an album ready.
Oh.
I will say that. And I
Oh.
will also say that there's another album in the works.
Two? Two? You can't be doing this to me, Caitlin. This is too much information here. Oh no. No, that's okay. Interesting.
We've been busy.
Yeah. I didn't well, yeah. That makes sense. If you haven't been you've been going hardcore with this stuff. So yeah, that makes sense. You've been busy. So yeah. Jeez. Okay. All right. What would you be doing right now if it wasn't for music, Caitlin?
Ooh, this is a fun question.
I guess if you're not doing music and then I guess coding, then yeah. There you go.
I could see myself painting.
Oh.
Painting or doing mixed media. Yes, that would be it.
That would be okay, and I guess if I didn't call out the coding, I guess you would be like a software engineer or something, or a software coder.
I am a software engineer.
Well, I meant if I didn't pull that out, then yes, you would probably pursue that more than I would assume, right?
I pursue it strongly.
Mm-hmm.
I am very careful to not let my career take over my life, because when you're doing something like technology, it very easily can.
Oh.
I'm very aware of that, and I like to do my best to keep a mix of work-life balance.
So, what was one time that I took over too much then? What was one instance then?
I think since I graduated college and started working full time, it's been much easier to manage. But I took business information technology at Red River, and it's a very heavy course load. So I would go to school I'd be there usually from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. And then there would be obviously a ton of homework because I'd be in many classes. Yeah. So it was really nice, but it was a lot of hard work. And there were times where I'd be like, I just need a break. And it was very stressful.
I would assume that it's college and it's university, especially.
Yes, and then working part-time outside of that was not easy. And then trying to play in multiple bands as well.
Yeah. Wait, what was your part-time job at the time then?
Ooh, I was a barista.
That's fun. What was the
Yeah, I was working at Starbucks.
Oh, so you got the all gist of Starbucks and everything. So what was your favorite thing that you got at Starbucks then?
Ooh. When I worked there, my favorite, I think it was just the iced coffees.
Just the iced,
that was my vice.
Just the normal
iced
ones.
Coffees.
Okay.
Or adding espresso to iced coffees.
You're a person that goes off the radar. Okay. Okay.
I am a big fan of caffeine. Something I'm trying to rein in.
Oh, well, yeah, you're a person that is in a band and does coding. So I would assume, yes, you would be a person that likes coffee on the major. Right.
Yeah, it's all adding up now. It's all adding up.
You're just a caffeine addict right there. And on top that you did. Yes. Makes sense. Okay. So what would be your favorite song you made so far out of all the bands that you've done? Ooh. What is your favorite song?
This is actually perfect because it is the song that we just announced that we are releasing. And it will be coming out March 10th. It's called Bloom.
That's with Breathe In, right?
That is with Breathe In.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I didn't ask you. What was with Komono and everything? Did you do any working with them for music wise, or are you just just a you're just a performer, I guess, for Kokomo. I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first joined Kokomono, we were just playing live. So they
Yeah.
had already had like they already had like their whole set written and all of it tabbed out. So I just kind of like learned the songs and was just playing live with them. And we'd have a lot of writing sessions just kind of after practice. We'd all
Mm-hmm.
sit down like in front of a computer and just
Okay.
write guitar pro tabs. So that's always lots of fun. And yeah, that's just kind of where we're at.
Okay. Okay. That's the
Playing the
rest is
songs,
history.
having fun. The rest
Rest
is
is history.
history.
Rest is history with those ones. Okay. Um. Cool. Okay. So I guess I know that from me talking to them and everything, I guess I don't know if they're still in the process with the album and everything. I don't know if you helped with the album at all for them or no.
I was in for one studio day,
Oh.
so I have a few guitar tracks on there.
Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Cool. 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 So Caitlin's on the new Kokomoto record. Okay. Cool.
I got one song.
Oh, you got one song. Okay. So you okay. That's still a something. Let's go. Good. So
No,
going
this.
back.
Oh, sorry.
Hmm? Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say this summer was crazy busy for me with
Oh,
playing so many shows
yeah.
all the time, and Breathe In was in the studio, and then we had shows coming up and all of this. So yeah, to learn a whole album and get into the studio, I
Yeah, you've been busy.
couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Well, that's why you had to step away from Kokomoto for a bit, probably, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm thinking summer would be probably popular for you again, right?
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
Last summer, I was definitely feeling burnt out at the end, but I
Mm,
had a lot of fun, met a lot of great people, got close with a lot of great people, played a lot of really fun shows.
yeah, you did. You did. We need to still plan out. I know Nick talked about doing that boxing fighter, that cooking off thing. We still have yet to plan that stuff yet.
Oh, yeah. So before this actually all started as a joke,
Hmm.
before I was in Kokomono or even knew any of them,
Yeah.
Lowlife and Kokomono played a show together.
Hmm.
And Kokomono was challenging bands to a cook-off.
Hmm.
And Mikey, you suggested that they challenge Lowlife.
Yeah, I did
And
suggest that.
so they did at that show. And we said, yeah, you're supposed to do it in the summer, but we never did.
Maybe this summer. Maybe this summer we
It's gonna
could do
have
it.
to be
Okay.
this summer.
It
It's
has
gonna
to be
have to
this.
be.
Well, there's not much going on this summer that anything
Oh, it's
happening
still
going on,
early.
right? It's
It's
still
still
very
early,
early. That's
Mikey.
true. Okay. Are we applying something's going on in the summer that you're not telling me right here, Caitlin?
Oh, I can't keep secrets. I'd spill it all.
Well, you already spoiled like 2 albums or 3 albums at this point now. I don't know what else you can spill, but there's probably something that you could probably spill. Is there anything going on in the summer with you for bands that you know of or no?
Not yet, no.
Oh, jeez.
It'll be Breathe In. So Breathe In is a
Hmm.
newer project. We haven't played any shows yet.
Hmm.
So we'll be starting to play shows. We'll be kicking it off with a release show.
Hmm.
But that's all I'll say. That's
That's
all
why
I'll
I
say.
was
I'll keep
wondering
some
if
of
there
it. I'll
was
keep
gonna.
some of our cards. I'll
That's why
keep
I was
some of
wondering
it.
if there was gonna be a release show or anything like that. But okay,
That's all
okay,
I can say. That's all
okay,
I can say.
that's fine. Yeah, she doesn't want to get hit by like the label, but her label is just her friends, so that's yeah. Speaking of labels,
This
what
is
do you
actually fun. Oh, sorry. Go
what
ahead.
what?
Never mind.
No, no, you
When
go
you're
ahead.
releasing music on DistroKid, it asks you what label you're on, and it
Oh,
says if you're not on a label, make up the name.
mm-hmm. What's the name?
So, for which band?
All of them.
Let's see. So, Breathe In releases music under, I believe it's Midnight Habit, and it was our drummer's first band, is where
Ah,
that came from. Lowlife releases music under Stooshy Records.
Douchey Records.
Yeah, so Lowlife recorded our first songs with Ian at Mid Ocean,
Oh,
and we just have a lot of fun with him. We like
hmm.
messing with him, and he's honorary queen, honorary member of Lowlife. We inducted him in,
Okay.
and yeah, we all started making jokes. Well, our drummer Brooke was making jokes because he was eating sushi, and then he was eating sushi in the stooshy.
Stooshy in the
So yeah, it's a
sushi.
little
Stooshy.
shout out to him that we release all our music on Stooshy Records now.
Ah, okay. But speaking of labels, what do you think about the music industry as a whole? So like with like streaming and everything right now, like what do you think about when you hear that idea, Caitlin?
When I hear the idea, the music industry as a whole.
Mm-hmm. As a whole, what do you think of when someone tells you that? Like what are your thoughts right away? Like is it good? Is it bad? I don't know.
Oh, I mean, there's good and bad parts to everything. What I think, what kind of like reins me in every time I get too excited about things, or it kind of like one of the like biggest negative parts of it that I think is I think about all of the bands that I look up to, like bands that I would have seen at like Warped Tour and playing these huge shows
Right.
and going on tours all the time. And then I'm like, they all still have day jobs. None of them are making money off of this. They can't. They're doing all of this beautiful art
Mm-hmm.
and they're just not getting paid for it, which hurts.
That's true. Well, it was interesting. I talked to someone recently about that, and which was funny. You're gonna love this conversation. I know someone who's in Twitch Wise, who was a person that was like a manager of a Starbucks, okay? And he was working Starbucks, and turns out one of his coworkers, I don't know which one, he didn't tell me, was a band that was just getting popular and everything, repopular after, I guess this was like recently ish. And he got called back up because, oh, their band's going to get back on tour. It was We Came As Romans. So basically, he was working Starbucks job basically right after Kyle passed and everything. And then they got back up popular and everything. And they're like, oh, sorry, I got to quit now because our band's getting really popular again and we're going back on tour and everything. So that was like recently. So it's crazy to think like you could get popular just like that too. And also you can't quit your day job if somehow these Warped Tour bands maybe make what I don't know what We Came As Romans is making right now. I don't know, possibly, but who knows? Maybe you guys can. I don't know. That's
Absolutely. I don't think, for me personally, I love coding. I don't think it's ever in the cards for me. And also, being in the technology industry, I can just take my laptop on tour
true.
and I can be working my day job, writing my code. The best of both worlds. The best of
That's
both worlds, really.
true. That's true. You don't need anyone. You could just take everything on tour. You could just be living on tour every single day. Because all you need is literally a Starbucks and a laptop, and you're good.
Yeah.
Shoot. Why aren't you on tour right now, then, Caitlin? That's a real
In
question.
due time.
In due time. In due time. Okay.
Yeah, touring is definitely something that I would love to do.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's on my bucket list for sure for these, but you
Same
know,
here.
time
Same.
and place.
Yep.
Time and place. You
Same
gotta
place.
gotta get your music up there first.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta put a really good show together first.
True. Good lineup. Need a good lineup for tour and that, or just in general, a good area that demographic wise that you have. I don't know. But yeah. Going back, what are your like thoughts on artists getting into labels and such? Like, do you suggest new artists to seek that, or do you think they should go independent, or what are your thoughts on that? It's like, for instance, if you got asked to get on a label right now with either Breathe In or Lowlife or even some new band that you want to make, what would you do? Would you want to get on a label or not?
Want to versus not.
Mm-hmm.
It completely depends on the label, on the circumstance.
True.
We'd probably say yes. I'll say, yeah. I mean, we. I'm not qualified to speak on this. I'm very much
no,
not.
You are. You're a guitar. Okay, you're a person in a band, and you just want to be getting probably out there. You just probably like. do you want to like get your name out there? Do you want to tour? Like, what do you want out of, I guess, if a label did contact you, what did you want out of them?
I want everyone that would like our music to hear it and find it.
That's it.
That's it. It's really just like getting it out there to the right people, to the people that
Yeah.
want to hear it.
So you're fine with getting ripped off and having to pay all the money and everything what you get from a label and be like, oh yeah, we're gonna be bankrupt now.
I think now you're putting words in my mouth.
Okay, that's true. Never mind. That's what I hear from a lot of people, but that's also just depends on the contract too. I'm just terrible on putting words into mouths. Yes, I'm sorry. You did that was me, everyone. Okay. So, did you ever have that cross your mind about getting on a label? You think at some point in the future, Caitlin? You think or no?
I mean, I think every band that I've played in has
Mhm.
talked about it. Just like, hey, if this opportunity is this something that we'd want to chase? Is
Yeah.
this like, do we want to be pitching our albums to labels? Is this
Yeah.
something we want to try and do? And it all depends.
It all
It all depends on
depends.
the right time. Yeah. I really do not enjoy the business aspect
Mm.
of playing in bands. I do it, I contribute to it
Mm.
because you want to be a good bandmate,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I just like the music.
You just want to
That's
play. You just want to
yeah.
play. You don't care
I
about the
just want to
business.
play.
Yeah.
I just want to write music. I care about the business because
Yeah.
it's the well-being of my best friends and I.
Well, yeah.
I definitely care a lot, but I do not enjoy it.
You do not enjoy it, and you have to deal with that probably because you're in a band, right? So
And the thing is, it takes up more of your time than the actual art most of the
that's
time.
true. Very true.
Which is probably why I think I don't like it, just because I know that it's blocking me from just being able to just play music. I just want to play my little guitar.
Just your guitar. Do you feel like that your music now would be like, yo, it will get picked up like right now from like for instance, this album drops and Breathe In. Do you think a label will be like, yo, I want to sign these guys? You think that or no? Not yet. At least I don't know. That's I want to have your pitch on what you think of the record.
I think it's a damn good record, and I
Mm-hmm.
think, yeah,
That's it.
that's
Okay.
that's
Okay.
all I'm gonna say. I think we put a lot of time into it. We
Mm-hmm.
are happy with the quality and the production level. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't like DIY anything.
Just that. Okay.
I'm super happy with it.
Okay.
I could definitely seeing it being released under a label,
Hmm.
but where we're at right now, we're doing it all ourselves, and
Which is
that's
fine.
special in itself.
No,
It's nice to have
that's good.
complete control over everything and
Yeah.
to know that it all came from you and two of your friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Like that's the main thing I always like, yo, that's good that you guys are independent and you get freedom of like, hey, I want to make this, create this, and all independent and get that kind of gist of everything, right? So it's like, oh yeah, great. I don't have to be on this, or do this. They're telling me, oh, I have to do this or how to release this, right? So that's main thing that you guys want to get like that art out on
Yeah,
your own terms, right? That's the main
yeah.
thing. Yeah,
To have the complete ownership of not only a song but an entire
true.
album from like the very first little thing that I was messing around with on my guitar to seeing it out there and people
Yeah.
listening to it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. If you could have your listeners, fans remember one thing about yourself, Caitlin, what would it be?
Spread love. Spread
Just spread
love.
love.
Love music.
Okay. Just why that though? Why that?
The world needs some more love.
It doesn't have enough already?
No.
Okay. 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 That's all you want. Okay. Okay. Fine.
Yeah, those are my I'm a numbers girl. I'm not a words person.
That's fair. I'm okay. Yeah. I'm not a numbers person either. I'm not even a words person either. I don't know what there is after that. So I'm something else entirely. But what's a small artist or band that you've been getting into lately, Caitlin? Even locally or
Um
something.
locally, we just played a show with Neighbor Andy, and I thought that they were fantastic and put on a lovely live show.
Just
That's a
Neighbor
real good
Andy?
one.
Okay, that's a good one. What about non-local? Is there any like small like band that you found that are like, oh, this I like, but not many people know about?
There's a band called Trauma Lanes out of Calgary, I believe. I've been really into them. Yeah, honestly, I pretty much just pick up Canadian bands from the Scoped Exposure podcast
Oh,
and listen to all of them.
I need to check out this podcast now.
You definitely
Oh, I
do.
did not even know about this now.
Yeah,
Dope.
that's a good one. That's
Okay.
definitely a good one. It's all like hardcore bands.
Ooh. Okay, now I need to check this out now. Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. Maybe we'd be the next one that we be the next podcast that shows off more parkour. Maybe in this scene. Who knows? What's the plans for the rest of the year? If you know, like what is the idea that you have for the rest of the year for yourself, Caitlin?
Absolutely. Some of the goals for this year that we have set, releasing the album for Breathe In, playing the release show. It could be on the books for a little tour in the fall.
Oh,
We'll see. Got to see how things shake out. Lowlife in the studio, releasing music, playing shows. Komono's been sitting on an album, so that will be coming out. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say these.
you're allowed to say it. I already know about the album. I don't know when it's releasing though, but you're good. Unless they're gonna DM me after this podcast and be like, "Oh no, we gotta cut this one off." Nah, I think you're fine. Unless Kokomoto sees this in there and they're gonna comment down below and be like, "Okay, now we gotta delay the album now or something."
Caitlin out.
Caitlin out now. Dang.
What about you, Mikey? What do you got on the books? What do you got on the books for this summer?
I got on the books for this summer.
Yeah, Eagle Owl. Do we get new Eagle Owl music?
I'm working on stuff right now. I am working on Eagle Owl music in the background. I just sent out a track to get mixed and mastered right now from someone in Toronto. So that's something. Other than that, maybe Eagle Owl tour. Maybe, but not in Winnipeg. It'll be something out of Winnipeg, but we'll see. Because I did like a couple Winnipeg shows already. But other than that,
I know, I was there.
Yeah, you were there. Wow. But other than that, maybe I want to try and get on some kind of tour for photography this year. So that's my main goal for maybe summer, even spring. I've been messaging so many bands and artists, and it's like a lot of like, I don't know if you know the word term dono wall, but everyone's just like, oh, not replying or anything like that. Basically, I'm getting a lot of that. So it's like, oh, nice, or just reading messages, nothing. So that's basically what I'm getting a lot of. So I want to try to at least get on one tour this year for at least a band or artist. So that's basically the main goal for myself for this year, or at least summer, maybe spring. And other than that, music wise, maybe another EP, but who knows? So maybe there's stuff written, and they just need mix and mastering. That's all I need to talk to people about right now.
I like it. How did you we're gonna flip this podcast.
Okay, we're re-rolling it. Oh, okay, fine.
Welcome to the Music Storm podcast, where we talk about
we're doing the Eagle or Mikey podcast version. Okay.
But I actually am really curious about this. How did you start? Because when we first saw you like doing photography at Fusion Fest, we first met at Fusion Fest. Do you remember that?
Did we actually first meet at Fusion Fest? I thought it was
we
even
first
before.
met at Fusion Fest.
What?
And I knew that you were a photographer, but I had no idea that you had this whole Eagle Owl persona. Yeah. How did it start? How did it start?
Well, at a very young age, when I was out the womb. No, I'm kidding now. I'm kidding. No, I've always loved like owls in general all my life. So I just named myself Eagle Owl back like out of high school-ish. So that was back in that term. And I've done like YouTube and everything. I don't know if you look that up. Like I do reaction videos of like different bands and artists on YouTube and everything. I do that on the side. So I do that, and then Twitch content, so like YouTube content creation and everything. So everyone knows me as Eagle Owl for content creation. But as for music, how that came to be was like out of like middle school, I did like a rap with some artists out of like Toronto that came into our city. And we made my first song, The World Is, which was on an audio clip of the first song at the show. So you heard that. That was my first ever song. Probably everyone laughed at it, which was a good meme at the start of it. So that was my first song. And then I didn't do music until like 2018, 2019. The gist of the sad part is how Eagle Owl came to be for music was because of basically a person at the bar that I liked, and she ghosted me.
Are
Yep.
you kidding me? That's like one of the best stories I've ever heard.
What do you mean? That's the best story? I created
That's a,
music because someone ghosted me. That's not a good
but
story.
you turned it into Eagle Owl.
Maybe. Well, it turned into rapping and everything. Yeah, I guess so. So that came into how Eagle Owl became for music wise. But as for like other stuff, I've always made Eagle. I don't know. I've always wanted to get into content creation in general, but I don't think it will be a full time thing because I've not become KSI level. But hey, KSI did check out my photos though. That's that's dope though. But that's another story, another day maybe. But we'll see. But yeah, show yourself out, Caitlin. What do you want the people to know about you?
About me.
Yeah, about you.
I'm just one in all these bands.
Okay,
That's it.
that's fine.
That's it.